Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hey, y'all, it's Gail Trauco at Healthcare 911, and we have our most fantastic guest in the world today. Chris is back with his twins.
Hey.
Clark will be here shortly. Chris, congratulations. How old are they today?
They are 2 weeks today,
Okay.
actually.
And tell us which one this is.
So this is Oliver.
So you've got two boys.
Yes.
Weighing in at what? They were full term, right?
Yeah. Well, they delivered twins at 37 weeks, so they induced the pregnancy. So they were 6'11" and 6'10". I've heard that's kind of big for twins.
It is. My twins, Tyler weighed 8 pounds and Jordan weighed 7 pounds and 2 ounces. So they are not going to slow down, Chris.
No. And that's kind of the hardest part, has been like the feeding thing.
Yes.
So just kind of figuring out all of that and
hey, Chris.
And all that good stuff. Hey.
Christina, we've got babies. Look. That's okay. Look, we've got babies. This is Oliver, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Oliver.
Yeah. And it's so weird because like from birth even, they're like completely different personalities.
How different? Like, is one more, they sleeps more or?
Yeah. He sleeps less than the other one. And then he kind of makes a little noise while he's sleeping. If you put a wipe on him, he's going to scream. The other one just kind of just stays asleep and kind of very docile all the time. It's weird.
Okay, this would be my Jordan and the other one be Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll do the comparisons. If they're listening today, they're going to know too much about themselves as infants. Well, how are you managing? When I sent you a message the other day, I said, okay, who's cooking and who's doing all the laundry? And Clark messaged back immediately, I'm doing the laundry today.
Yeah, he was. And actually, my sister was out shopping to like do a little bit of meal prep for us.
Yeah.
Just because, we're trying to run a business and keep 37 koi fish in the back alive and the babies.
Oh, wow. And don't you have cats too, Chris?
Yeah, I've got 2 cats.
And he has 2 cats. Do they like the babies?
I think they just know not to bother them because they know, I won't be happy. So
They know.
They kind of really haven't really bothered them.
Oh, wow. So
you need to talk to Gail about getting a goat. She can hook you up with a goat. Anyway.
He keeps seeing me post pictures on Facebook, and I said I can't transport the goats to visit you. They're still sleeping in the dog kennels in the house because they're not very big. They could ride the goats right now. They're so small. It's a house goat. Well, have you adjusted to immediately being fathers of twins, Chris? How do you feel?
At first, like, of course, on the ride home, because it was 27 hours drive.
Did you drive like 3 8-hour days to break it up? Is that what you did?
We only stayed in a hotel once, actually, on the way back.
Oh, you're daring.
So, yeah, it was me, my dad, and Clark were all driving. So we got back. But, yeah, it was just kind of that and trying to feed them and the diapers. And it was a lot more diapers in the very first couple days.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then kind of the feeding thing. But now that we're here at our house, like, everything's kind of really calm here. So I think they're kind of enjoying that. They're really good babies. I don't know if it's a phase, if I'm just like, but they only cry if they're hungry, really.
Oh, you've got comments coming in through our
Well, so do
Facebook
I, so.
Live. Yeah, Mary says they're so sweet.
Oh, they are. They're so sweet.
Well,
I hope they stay like
They're
this.
adorable.
how long are they sleeping, Chris? I didn't sleep till my twins were about 12 through the night because of ear infections.
They sleep.
Oh,
They
I'm
sleep
in
about 3 hours at a time.
3 hours they sleep?
Yeah, and then they pop back up and they're ready for a feeding. But if you have your phone timed, they won't wake. You can wake them up.
Now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Explain to me how you wake these guys up. Now, I got to hear this. I'm going to learn something new as a mom.
So
Right?
okay. So
Yeah.
we've taken them to the pediatrician since we've been back,
Yeah.
and the pediatrician is saying that they lost a lot of weight from the birth.
Uh-huh.
So she upped the concentration on the formula.
Yeah.
So she wants them bigger, basically. So we've had to take them like the very next day to weigh in.
Okay.
So with them though, I've kind of been aggressive feeding them. So I don't really
Right.
I
Have a
kind of
schedule.
put the bottle in there. I move it around pretty aggressively. I open up their onesie, open it up, put a cold wipe on their face, like kind of round.
You really do wake them up. How many?
Yeah.
Will they drink an ounce yet, Chris, or an
2
ounce and a
ounces.
half? 2 ounces they drink
Mhm.
about
Good.
every 3 hours.
Yeah, so about 7 feedings in 24 hours.
So are you making bottles ahead of time? I always had to do that. I had a whole shelf full of bottles.
Yeah, well, I had the baby Breeza,
Yep.
and that's like a 3-second bottle maker.
Oh, no,
but-
they didn't have such things. Wait a minute.
I-
Product analysis. Go ahead. I'm getting educated.
So I love it, and like my pediatrician said, you can go back to it in a little while, but right now there's not enough formula it's putting in.
Okay.
Right.
She wants more concentration, so I have been making them ahead of time. But
I was gonna.
Smart.
I got up at 4:30 every morning to make bottles to take to daycare when I went back to
yeah.
work. Yeah, I did.
well,
Yeah,
now
I
that
did.
once they get on the right weight, then I can just hit the button. Literally, you have a baby in your hand, you can hit the button, and it's 3 seconds.
And is the milk warm when
Yeah,
when the baby Breeza makes it?
Yeah, there's 3 temperatures: room temperature, a little warmer, and like real warm.
Oh, moms, listen to this. That sounds like something you need to go out and get. I'm a mom. I would have bought it.
Yeah, I've got 2 of them, and I've got one that plugs into my car.
No. Oh, Chris, you are a diva.
I mean, that's
He's
the thing is like
spoiled,
if I've found
You
that
have
kind
all
of
that.
like spending money on these things and doing it ahead of time has
Yeah.
saved me. Another thing that I'm using is the Mama Roo.
I don't know
And
what
it's
that
by,
is, Chris.
It's by Four
We're out of
Moms.
it.
It's like a robotic rocker.
Oh, you mean like the battery operated
Oh, yeah.
swing?
Yeah, but it's
We
like
had those.
one that kind of it mimics the like you rocking them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, ours
Yeah,
might
I
be
think-
that technical.
Oh, no, we didn't have those things because I think most of the stuff I used for my twins came from Toys R Us, Chris. They had
Oh,
the best prices on everything.
I know. I wish there still was a Toys
Mhm.
R Us.
I
Yeah.
know.
I had to.
Now, is this
I had
the
to-
other baby?
This is Oren, and he's a little bit more, little chubbier.
Oh,
Oren.
Oren, you're not
You're the
chubby,
inverted.
Oren.
And he's the one that
he's-
he sleeps a lot.
He sleeps more than 3
Oren.
hours at a time, Chris.
Yeah.
So,
He's going
okay,
to be the inverted.
who gets up easier at night, you or Clark? I have to ask.
You know what? We kind of in the very beginning, what we did is we did like I was gonna do it one night, like
Uh-huh.
I'll get up all night tonight, and then you get up tomorrow night. But then it's like 2 hours for one feeding because you have to do one
Yes.
and the other and change their diaper. So now what we do is we both get up, and you take one, I'll take one, and it's only a little bit of time when we're back to sleep.
Well, at some point, you're going to need for
least
me
you
to
get
come,
some
me
sleep.
and your dad to come and stay and take care of them, or me
I
and your
know.
sister, so you can sleep for 8
Take a
hours. We'll get
vacation.
you a hotel room at a Marriott, so you can go sleep all night.
Right?
Yeah.
Somebody offer me that.
I don't know. Y'all, I was so poor when my twins were small. Oh my gosh. It was me doing everything. And there wasn't anybody else to help. Yeah, it was, I had to get up and work in the morning as a nurse, up all night. I mean, I looked bad. Bags under my eyes. Well, are they sleeping in their cribs, Chris, or do you have them sleeping in the same bed?
I've got a twin bassinet that's in my room. So it kind of hangs a little bit over the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
And then that way you don't have to get up and go all the way to their room each time.
I got to come and video all this stuff. I know. I could do a commercial. Yeah, we do. Yeah, because he and Clark are so creative and organized. Yeah. I don't know. He's smarter than most millennials. Funny. Now, my kids are good. My sons are going to hear that, but I'm sorry. It's true.
My God.
What is your favorite part? Have you had any adjustment to being a dad, you and Clark, or is it just seem natural?
I don't know. It just seems like instinct for me, just to take care of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it. So and I really kind of feel I cry. Well, the whole first night in the hospital, I just looked at him and cried
because you couldn't believe it. They're so amazing.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah. And then I started crying because I was like, "Oh, this is so sad for all the people that can't." Friends of ours that would never have this experience just because it's so expensive and stuff like that. Yeah. So, yeah.
Amazing. I need to ask a question. Being Pride Month, I wanted to ask a question because a couple of my friends asked me this and I wasn't sure. I'm not sure. You're in Georgia, correct?
Yeah.
You're in Georgia, Chris? For a gay couple to adopt unborn babies, how difficult was that in your state? So Texas is very difficult.
It wasn't difficult from a legality perspective.
Good.
It was just more difficult in the finding someone to do it. And all that. This happened out of the blue. So our surrogate is my husband's first cousin. And so she heard that that we wanted to do this, and she just called us one night and said, "Hey, I'll do it." And so we were like, "Are you drunk?"
Right?
And she was like, "No, I want to do it." So we flew out there and started. We tried an at-home thing first.
Yeah.
And then we went with the IVF.
Yeah.
Right. Well, better.
Let me go grab a bottle. I'll be back. Y'all talk.
No, it's okay. My son, Chris, we know a number of couples in Georgia that have adopted, Chris. We know one couple that adopted a little girl from China when they were still doing those adoptions. I think that cost about $60,000. And
it's very, very
one of them was an employee with Starbucks, and I think Starbucks as a corporation paid most of those adoption fees as an employee benefit. It was amazing. Then they adopted a second child from Venezuela. So, that was an option as well. And, we know a couple of other couples who've adopted children from Russia. One of them has behavior problems. One of them doesn't. Another couple adopted a child from the Marshall Islands. Absolutely beautiful child. Looks Hawaiian with the long black hair and the
Polynesian
skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, just absolutely gorgeous. So, I think it's important that gay couples have LGBTQ couples have the option to adopt. And the other thing that's really important is foster parenting. LGBTQ,
I agree.
Youth and teens. That's a big need, and I think there's only one LGBTQ couple in Fulton County, Georgia, that are foster parents. There may be, and this was within the last 60 days, so there may be more than that now. Yeah.
Well, I know in the state of Texas, from what I've heard, I don't know for sure, but it's it is probably in Georgia, very, very expensive. But you've got to be able to have lawyers and the law and the red tape and the fees. And it's just, you got to have a few dollars to be able to do it. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to have a surrogate mother and adopt them when they're born. There's a lot of red tape and stuff that people have to go through.
There is. And I think that's probably one of the most generous things that a female could do would be to be a surrogate for someone who's not able to have a child. Everybody that wants to be a parent, I will hopefully have that opportunity.
Right. Right.
So
I think, there's so many gay couples that I know, LBGTQ couples, they don't have the opportunities because of one thing, finances. And another thing, the red tape is just astronomical. It's just almost impossible. So, Chris, God bless you guys for being able to do this and give these kids, these babies, this amazing life that you two will be able to give these babies. It's just, wow.
Yeah. And that's kind of like what I was feeling like, because it's impossible. This does not happen. And
no,
I wish it were easier, but yeah, I mean, like when we were looking at just agencies, they were like, well, there's no guarantee, but it's about $120,000 just for one.
Very
for
expensive.
One child, Chris?
Yeah.
For a surrogate?
Yeah. And so even with us, with her doing that for us, we're in like probably $60,000.
Can your insurance cover that? I was curious. Probably not.
No, it covers.
And it's hers?
Hers covered her hospital stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But it didn't cover
that's good.
Any IVF.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It wouldn't cover any of that, Chris?
No.
Wow.
No, because there were tons of medication. I think she was on medication for months just to produce like a great amount of eggs.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is important for couples who are wanting to conceive to know if their insurance doesn't cover this, they're going to be paying for this out of pocket.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because basically the insurance company says that, having children is not really a necessity. And
yes, it is.
that's how they spin it, I guess. Even where we were, the circumcision was not. They don't do that at the hospital. So
really?
Yeah, because
are you kidding?
Now the pediatrician does it in the office.
Now when they did it at the hospital before they were discharged.
Yeah,
mine
too. When I was younger.
And the OBGYN did it.
Mm-hmm.
He did the circumcision. Like the next morning.
I was there.
I was there too, with a big abdominal incision.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because mine were a C-section. The twins were. So that was, that was a big recovery in addition to all of a sudden having two babies. Okay, Chris, what kind of fancy bottle is that? That doesn't look like anything I've ever seen.
This is the Boone bottle.
BOON?
Yeah, and so it has like a silicone sleeve that goes on the inside.
Right. And
so you can just refrigerate that, like with a little top on it. And now this is the big bottle, but I have smaller ones for them. They're being washed right now.
Yeah.
But also this is like a number 2 nipple, which is for a 3-month-old or more. But what they were doing is on the newborn one, it was too small, and they would suck for like 5 minutes and get tired and go to sleep.
Oh wow! So they weren't eating as much as they needed to.
And I think that's that was the issue. But that's kind of one of the things where we just figured it out on our own. But yeah, these bottles, the top comes off, and then you can actually put a sippy cup top on them, so they last for like 3 years.
Look. We thought we were doing it when my twins were coming with the Playtex nursery and the plastic liner that went over it, right, Chris? And we boiled a pot on the stove every night with the nipples in it to sterilize them.
Oh, my aunt came over to the house and did that.
I love your aunt. She's doing it the way we did it.
She was like, "Here, look," and I was like, my dishwasher right there has a sanitize button on it.
See, I didn't have a dishwasher. Oh, Chris, this isn't as hard. Look, y'all are spoiled already raising twins.
I know. Well, I can't. Honestly, twins, if somebody is, it's given me a new respect for women that are breastfeeding and stuff. Like, if you had to get up after you've had these babies and do all that, and you got 2 of them, like, you're done.
Oh, yeah, no, I gave up on that. I was like, oh, no, I got to go back to work in 6 weeks. We're going to use the bottles. I mean, I had to be real.
Right?
I physically couldn't do it.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, there's no way. I don't see how they do it.
Well, I think it's a big commitment for those moms that do it, and I know they do it for the nutritional benefit for the infants. Look at him. He is so cute, Clark. Oh, my God, Chris.
But even our
Oren, you're adorable.
The formula is supposed to be like the closest to breast milk as possible or something like that.
Do you buy it at the grocery store, or do you have to go to the pediatrician's office?
I get it on Amazon. It's Enfamil.
Okay.
Enfamil, yeah, it's like no one's ever seen that brand until I show it to them.
No, none of your friends have ever seen it?
No. Probably because it's so damn expensive.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it was expensive in 1980. 1982, it took all our money to buy Enfamil. Oh.
Well, yeah, and just remember, ask your pediatrician if he has any samples in his office when you go in, because they may have, a canister that they can give you.
Right.
And so I don't know. I ran out of formula when Chris was about 3 months old. I just couldn't afford it anymore. I was making $5 an hour back at that time as a nurse. And so I called up the pediatricians. Chris had ear infections chronically. So I was constantly in the doctor's office, and I said, look, and this is for any mom that's out there that needs formula. I said, look, I can't afford formula, but I make $17,000 a year, which is too much money to qualify for WIC. And so I said, have you got any? And they go, yeah. So somebody started giving me a case of formula every month. It was a sales rep, dropped it off at the pediatrician's office. So, the pediatricians were very helpful to us, raising kids. And then all of a sudden I had twins 5 years later.
Right.
So you planned on having Oliver and Oren. Do you see more kids in the future, or are you happy with the two?
I think, right now I'll say, yeah, I do want to have like a girl, I think. So maybe in like 3 years. And actually the surrogate that carried them requested to carry my last one. So.
Oh, that's so nice, Chris.
I love that.
Just because now I don't know we haven't talked about it again since she's had these, because they were an hour and 40 minutes apart. So I was looking at her in the middle of it saying, I'm so sorry.
Oh, she'll be all right. It's what we do.
We forget
what
the
moms
we
do.
forget.
Yeah. You forget about it, don't you, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You forget about it, Chris.
Not breathing. And he was born an hour and 40 minutes later, and then she actually hemorrhaged and lost half of her blood. So it was scary.
That happened to me.
How long did she end up with a transfusion, I'm sure?
Yeah, like a rapid one.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
How
thing
long
with
was
me.
she in the
That's
hospital,
scary.
Chris?
She was in that OR room for about 6 hours after the delivery, and then she went back to her room next to ours, and then she went home in 2 days. We went home in 1.
Well, I think that's good. I was only in the hospital 2 nights when the twins were born, and I had good insurance because I was working for a pharmaceutical company by that point. And usually it used to be originally C-sections were admitted for a week. Remember that, Chris, years ago? And now it's like, oh, no, girlfriend, you can go home. I went back to work in 6 weeks, and I had the abdominal C-section. Wow. It wasn't any of this robotic surgery.
Yeah. But it was so scary because I was in the NICU, and there's a window in between the OR and the NICU where they hand the babies through. And so I'm sitting in there. He's not breathing for they're working on him for like 10 minutes. And then I'm looking through the window to make sure I didn't want to leave her.
Yes.
So you're like, you don't want to leave her, but then you got to go to your baby. So it was just scary because I was just sitting there thinking if anything happened to her, like how guilty I would feel.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine. Oh.
So the surrogate mom feels fine now. She's fully recovered. Okay.
Yeah, and she's visiting. She's flying down on the 22nd to visit them.
Okay. All right. So I think that is so nice.
Bounced right back.
Yeah, she did.
Right. That is.
Yeah.
So how's
Phenomenal.
your dad doing? How does he respond being a granddad? You said he was out in Idaho and helped you drive back.
Yeah, he's it's just different for him. Like he never really was one to like take care of babies or anything. I think it was more my mom. See, my cat's trying to figure out what's going on now.
Oh, we want to see the cat too.
This is Ernie.
Hey, Ernie.
And I'm glad they're not allergic. Can you look at them?
Ernie. Hey, we see him. Hey, Ernie. Yeah, they're hairless. They're beautiful.
But yeah, he's adjusting. He loves seeing them. He's just not one to like hold them and take care of them just because he doesn't know how, and it makes him uncomfortable.
Yeah, because your mom always did all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He is adorable. You know, you said something about a sippy cup earlier back in 1982. You know what a sippy cup was? A McDonald's cup with a straw in it and shut the hell up. That's what a sippy cup was in 1982.
Yeah.
We didn't have all that cool stuff.
No, we didn't. And the Happy Meals used to have real toys in them because I have a whole toy box full of things. From McDonald's.
Shut them up,
those
so
toys
lasted.
Really
We tried to figure out ways to shut them up.
Oh, look.
We loved our babies. Look at that.
We
Adorable.
Did. So, will he lay down and go to sleep now, Chris? Once they eat, or will they stay awake for a while?
There's I don't know if you know, there's a thing called a boppy now.
I never heard of that.
I know what it is. That I do know. I do know what that is.
Okay, it's like this.
Oh yeah, I've seen you with it on Facebook.
Yeah, so they I actually put him on that, and he props up on that, and he keeps his food down a lot easier.
Well, I would be a much better parent today than I was 33 years ago with all of these accessories and all the knowledge that you have. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just trial and error because I realized like their stomachs are kind of silly. So they and they're trying, these pediatricians are like, shove them full. And then, they're eating too fast and then it comes up.
Yeah.
So, but I've realized like if I just kind of like put them on that in the crib right now, it stays down, because if you put them flat on their back, they're just going to toss it right back up.
Yeah, that's
what they do.
No, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I did have we had a cradle, the wood cradles that rock back and forth. I did have one of those and sat there and rocked it and would just prop them up on a pillow after they ate.
Right.
Oh yeah. But I had two of them. Yeah, it was two babies to try to figure out how to do that with. Are you on any kind of a routine, taking them outside for a walk in the afternoons and a stroller, or are they too little for that yet?
They're a little too little for that, but I do take them outside on the front porch, just to get a little sun. And then also, that since their cord fell off, I read the book. It's called Moms on Call. It's a really short book, and it's amazing. And so, it's about, routines and stuff like that. So we bathe them every single night.
Yep.
And then swaddle them. And then after we swaddle them, and then we feed them their last feeding before we go to sleep.
Okay, when you say swaddle, you mean wrap them up in those blankets that I was asked? I said, who told you to wrap that baby up like that? And
well, now it's a little easier for people. So it's not a blanket. Well, you can buy like a muslin blanket now.
Right.
But now it's already made where you just slide them in and Velcro it in.
Get out of here. I thought, man, y'all had that down to a fine science if that was a baby blanket wrapped around.
That's a Velcro.
Look at Chris laughing. I was like, who showed you how to do that?
I know, right? It's a science. It really is. Let me ask you a question. I need to ask a question real quick. With COVID, going to the doctor's office, or even if you go to a family's gathering, the holidays are going to be coming up. The COVID's still around and will be for a while, just not as much, thank God. how do you guys have to handle that with the babies? COVID. You have to put a mask on them.
Well, I think with the pediatrician, it was so strange because they had to come out to our car to get the information.
Are you kidding?
And then you just walk in, like with
so
your mask.
So what was the
on.
purpose of coming to the car?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just asking because I'm a nurse and I don't get it. I've been at 3 hospitals already ready this week.
Right. I think
my veterinarian's office does that, but
yeah, our vets are still. Have you had the vaccine, Chris? I know you had COVID. Has Clark had it too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we both had the vaccines.
Yeah, so because the babies are very, very healthy.
When, the surrogate had the vaccine while she was pregnant. And I don't know if I just heard this. I might be wrong, but it said that the babies kind of get a little bit of that. I don't know.
Antibodies, yeah, they will.
The antibodies.
Yeah, they will, Chris. It's called maternal fetal transmission. Because the blood's being circulated through the cords from the mom's body. So they've got a little bit around it. Yeah, so I don't know. I would encourage people to be vaccinated when they come around. I mean, the babies are healthy, but I've had both shots, so I can hold them both. And so is Christina.
You lucky.
The pediatricians are saying to kind of just don't let kids around them. So they're saying now, like, if grandma and grandpa and stuff like that want to hold them, let them hold them.
Yeah.
If it's like a toddler, like a 5-year-old or 3-year-old, do not let them hold them.
And why is that?
I guess they're easier to pass viruses like that.
The COVID too.
I think she wasn't even concerned about COVID. I think it's this other flu that she was concerned about right now.
Flu, stomach viruses, things like that. I've heard that.
Yeah, it was something else.
They're around a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that with COVID. But it sounds like, they're safe. Thank God they were born now before COVID was so rampant.
Yeah.
Maybe it's coming down a little bit. Be a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because where we were able to, out in Idaho, Clark and I, the surrogate's husband, and all of us were in the OR.
Right. Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were able to do that, and it was so nice to be able to have that experience. And I was thinking, if this would have been a few months earlier, this would not have been this experience.
And probably even at a bigger hospital, because Idaho, that's probably a small to medium-sized hospital.
Oh, yeah. Very small. Very small.
Yeah. So I think that's a wonderful experience for you.
Right. A good friend of mine just had a granddaughter born yesterday, and she was going to fly out anyway, but she's flying out to Denver. And they can't go in the hospital. She can't go see her baby, and they're going to be in there a week because he's a preemie. Over a week, probably. She has to gain about half a pound, but she won't be able to see the grandbaby for a week or so because she can't go in the hospital. That's a big hospital.
Away.
Like,
look at him. Look at him opening his
Look
eyes. Look at him.
I know. Oren, I think you're Oren. I can't tell you two apart already. Are they identicals or no?
No, they're not. No. And the thing is like every day it's crazy. Like the eating and stuff gets more and more because I just fed him right before I got on here so they would be quiet. And then he just drank an entire other 2 ounces while I was talking to y'all.
Well, he said he heard the pediatrician wanted him to gain weight, so he's on a mission. He's a bodybuilder, Chris.
He's gonna be a linebacker. Are you kidding me?
He heard you and Clark were bodybuilders, and he's gonna be in shape too.
Yeah, he is. He's starting young.
Have you given thought to? Have you even begun to give thought to what kind of elementary education? Because they're gonna grow. I'm gonna tell you as a mom, so fast. They'll be walking. They're 2 weeks old now. By Christmas, they're going to be very close. They're going to be moving around in their walkers, and it's not going to be, but by February or March, they'll be walking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think because
we have to have them on again.
The school system that we're in right now is really bad. Where our house is. But I think there's like this school choice thing that I've heard of. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm hearing that as long as you can take your child to the school, they can go. So,
well, they're going to be very smart, Chris, because you're going to have an iPad. I'm telling you, kids are smarter now than Christina and I were when we were little. I mean, these 5-year-olds can do stuff on somebody's iPhone, and they know what YouTube is, and they're like, Sesame Street, and, they've bypassed that. To them, it's a video game versus, an educational series on television. So they're going to be really smart. They're going to be very sensitive. They're going to remember things, they're hearing now. They're gonna, it begins to program that subconscious mind. We had Dr. Joe Vitale on last week, who's really an expert at changing mind thought processes. So if you want one of them to be a race car driver, now's the time to start playing Richard Petty.
Yeah,
right.
If there's like languages and that type of thing, my sons all speak Spanish. They, you can begin to incorporate that into the environment, music, and I don't know what all.
I've thought about that because I've also seen, like, when I was doing a little bit of student interning at some of these schools, one of the really affluent schools, I was so shocked to know, but now it makes perfect sense, is they teach Chinese. Because if you know Chinese these days, I mean, businesses.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's no limit because you're able to communicate and deal, like even with the things that we do, if we could speak Chinese, we could probably get amazing deals on the inventory that we buy.
It's a really difficult, it's probably one of the most difficult languages to learn. Because I speak Spanish, Portuguese, and Greek, and all those are kind of Latin-based languages. Spanish was very easy to learn to. Mandarin, I don't think I'd be up to that.
I know, and I think a lot of people are like quick to do Spanish, but like somebody explained it to me, and they're like, Spanish is convenient, would be great for convenience, but Chinese is for money. If you want to make some money, learn some Chinese.
Well, I'm all about that. You can learn, they may even begin to learn Spanish growing up with friends in the neighborhood. We have such a large, Latin American population here in the States anymore, in every community. I think speaking Spanish is important, but it's because I speak Spanish to somebody or somewhere every day I use it. There's no doubt about it.
I think now's definitely the time, though, for, I wish I could go back and would have, been taught things like that.
It's not too late, Chris. You're young enough. Let me tell you.
I know. I just want to learn how to play a guitar. That's all I want to do.
Oh, you should do that.
I'm going to.
I can teach you that.
I need to learn that.
I've been playing a guitar since before I could walk.
Really?
My dad did the Joe Vitale thing.
Yeah,
he put it in my hand before I could walk. My dad was a musician.
I love it.
So he believed if he put it in my hand young, that I would grow up with it and learn it. And I did. I've never had a lesson. I just picked it up.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I had one question. Somebody texted me. I know Clark is very much the tech savvy of the two of you. Are there any apps that you have found that moms might like to add to their phone or iPad that you're using with the twins?
Good question.
Apps? That's a Clark question.
Honestly, well, yeah. So we use the Nanit app, and Nanit is like a camera that's in there. It will be in their bed, or it can be you can actually pull it off the wall and put it on a dock and take it anywhere you want to go. You put this wrap on them, and the wrap has shapes on it. And it sends off an algorithm based on their movement. So if the shapes stop moving, then it's going to buzz your phone because it means they quit breathing.
I've heard that. It keeps them from having SIDS and stuff. I've heard that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's saved many. It's already saved thousands of babies.
Do you have that on your phone, Chris? You and Clark both have it on your phone?
Yep.
I was just reading about that. Interesting.
And so
you have to have two apps, one for each baby?
No, yeah, two cameras, one for each baby. And you can set it up on the app. You can see both of them, and you can see their movements and stuff like that. Then if you're really a hypochondriac. Then you can get the there's a little booty that they wear. Now I'm not buying that. That's out of control. But it's a little booty, and it monitors their oxygen, their heartbeat, their I don't know what all it does. It does everything but feed them.
Right.
Wow.
I've heard. I just read an article on what you're talking about, the nannykin or something, and that booty, the booty one as well. The one you're doing, people are saying is less invasive and less expensive, and it's a good one.
Let me grab it.
Has great results. Has really great results.
That is amazing technology for something for new parents to have. So you know everybody.
But do you not remember when your babies were little? We didn't have technology like that, but we used to go in the room constantly to see if they're breathing. Are they breathing?
Yes.
Are they breathing? We did that all the time.
Make sure to lay them on their side and roll a blanket up under them so they wouldn't lay flat on their face. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I went years and didn't sleep at night. Thank God for Botox.
So this is a wrap. So and it wraps around them.
Does it? You put that on top of their pajamas at night, Chris?
Yeah, or on top of their swaddle like this, and then it's the camera is watching these shapes.
That is awesome. And can you get that on Amazon too?
Yep.
It's amazing. All parents should have that. It's not expensive.
I agree.
Wrap it right underneath their chest.
I think you need to start a YouTube channel and start talking about these things, Chris. I knew I was going to learn something from you today, but I've learned so much already. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not a grandmother yet, but one of these days probably. So
you're going to be a grandma that knows it all.
Yeah, by then, because I can call Chris and Clark and ask them for what I don't know.
Right. Chris, what do I do now?
So how has your now they have an aunt, you have a sister. Has she been spending some time with them to visit?
Yeah, she came up and met them and everything. And it's really, you would think because when my mom passed away that they would be, really, but honestly, like babies that were not here when they were here, and now he's gone and they're here. It kind of brings out some emotions in them, like some sadness, because they're seeing them, and I think the whole time in their head they're thinking, I wish she could be here.
But she is here, Clark. I mean, Chris. It's I believe in the life hereafter,
in the physical,
and it's and I know she would, but she met them before they were born. You can. It's now we want to talk about the spiritual side of birth. It's, your mom met them before they were born. So it's, I think most people believe in the life hereafter and the life after death and in eternal life. So, you've got a guardian angel right there watching them 24/7. It doesn't get any better than that. Your mom there all the time watching over the twins. That's pretty awesome. Think about it.
Yeah. And it's really, the thing is to, being that I'm the biological father, it's just so strange to look at them and just like Oliver, when I look at him, it just looks like me laying there. And it's just it's kind of scary.
It's scary. It is. I remember that feeling.
Yeah. But it's just like when you watch, I don't know, for me, it's more like when you watch your mom pass like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, I hope that one day, I'll look at them whenever I'm going. Right. And they'll be able to, I know that these babies will be the last thing that I want to see.
Yes.
Right. So.
And I think the awesome thing about, families are forever. And we have good family members, and sometimes we have some crap family members. I got both. But the fact that, it's always your mom is an awesome thing. So, you'll always be their dad, and you're just getting started. So you got college. Where do you want them to go to school? What kind of car do you want them to drive? I'm going to teach them to ride a horse. So, and to play with goats.
There you go. I have
good for me.
Yeah, so I don't know, Chris. I think what you and Clark have done is amazing, and I'm so proud to call you my friends. They're my other two sons, Chris. I'm like, oh yeah, we go out to eat. I'm like, oh yeah, these are my sons. Yeah, just sit us all at the same table. Yeah, it's I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
You've got, I just, birth is amazing anyway, but the fact that we're able to talk to you and see them 2 weeks later, and we just saw you about 6 weeks ago. And you look so good. I did look good when my babies were 2 weeks old.
Well, I didn't push them out, so.
True. That is true.
Well, is there
adorable.
anything, we've got a couple minutes left, is there anything you'd like to say to the audience for new parents or parents that are trying in vitro fertilization or thinking about adopting? Is it worth the experience, Chris?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it really is. I think it's the best thing that can ever happen to you. And it just kind of, with Clark and I, it's kind of sealed our relationship and just made it like, this is our family. And so now I'm just thinking about, all the Christmases, them opening gifts, like just all of those experiences that I would never have had.
The word tradition is going to be very important to this. One of the audience would like to know, are you journaling about any of this, Chris? This is a young mom. Are you journaling about any of this? Yeah.
I haven't so far. Just pictures. Just a lot of pictures. And I'm going to have to get another phone because my phone doesn't have enough space. When you have babies, you're going to have to get a bigger phone, by the way. Right. Because it's like every second you want to just do a video or a picture or something like that.
I think you really vlogging, something on YouTube, right? Chris. Yeah, vlogging, the YouTube shorts, a minute or less. I think there's a lot of people that would learn so much from you and can share in the experience. Like, I'm not around babies. When I see your babies, that'll be the ones I'm around. My neighbors' kids are all, 6 and up, and I don't have any grandkids yet. So I think it's amazing that when you can share that with others.
Yeah. I've never thought about it. Like, I've never thought about that. But I think it would be nice just to kind of like have a record of everything, that's happening and all that, so you can go back and look on it. Because I know that this moment is not gonna be forever, that it's they grow up fast. So
a nice vlog of the day in the life of Orville, right?
Oren and Oliver. Yeah.
Ornell, sorry.
Oren
Ornell and Oliver. Oren.
Oren.
Oren. And I love the name. Oren and Oliver.
Oh, look, he's sleepy.
I know we have to go, but where did you get those adorable names? They're just strong names. Where did you get them?
Well, we knew we wanted Oliver just because that just sounds kind of cute and kind of smart.
I love that name. I do.
And then Oren, actually, we were looking, I was like, okay, well, if one of them's named Oliver, then the other one has to start with an O. So I started looking on Google, and O is hard to find. There's like Owen, but everyone's named Owen. And
yeah, I'm glad you did.
I just started
Oren.
looking. It was like Otis, Oscar. I was like, oh no, that's a dog. So then,
Oscars can be more than we don't want Oscar.
So then I found Oren, and Oren was like from the 1800s, and I like old stuff like that. So I just picked it. And since I've named him, now I see movies and I see the name all of a sudden. I'm like, I never heard that before.
Yeah. Okay, y'all. Look, Chris, thank you so much for joining us and bringing Oren and Oliver. This is Gail Tralco, Christina Nelson, and our wonderful friend Chris and Clark with Oren and Oliver. We'll see y'all next week on Healthcare 911.
Bye.
Bye. Take care of yourself.